For me, HELP Ministries was like, I don't want to start crying on camera and all that stuff, but for me, it was something that, like, I could say, I tell people all the time, like, it literally saved my life. Because coming out of high school, my mindset was, I'm getting away from church. Like, that was my whole mindset. I didn't want to be the church boy. Growing up in church, I was so sheltered from so many things. I never went to a club. The only club I went to was after prom. And because I wasn't used to being out that late, I fell asleep at after prom in the lounge area. I sat down in the lounge area, cuddled up with my date, and went straight to sleep. So there was a whole bunch of like different experiences that I never got to try out because I grew up in church. I was in church all the time. You know, I wasn't Pentecostal. I grew up Baptist, but we were in church all the time. And then by the time we get to college, like, I'm a part of a Methodist church, and I'm a part of the praise team, part of the choir, part of the media team, and then I'm licensed as a minister, so I'm expected to be at all these different things, and I have all these different responsibilities. When I got to college, I'm just like, man, I'm trying to run away from all that, and I tried. I tried.
Right.
And HELP Ministries came up, and it saved me because the direction that my life was going was completely different. I could show high school pictures of myself, and you can see the direction I was going.
It's so funny because you say you were running, but you walked right into it.
Exactly. My running though brought me straight. You know how many times I don't know how deep we're supposed to get with this, but you know how many times I was in bed with people. I would be in bed with people, going at it, you know, doing my thing.
All right.
And something will always happen where my partner, whoever I'm with at the time, would start opening up about the Lord. And I'm sitting there just like, why are we going in this direction? Like, this is where I don't want to go. And every time that happened, I can't even tell you how many times that happened to me. Either that would happen or the presence of the Lord would come into the room. And it would be the weirdest experience. And every time those situations happen, the Lord will always whisper to me like, now, what do you think would happen if you just shared Jesus with them? I'm just like, I was just in their guts, Lord. Like, this is the way I talk to Jesus. I'm sorry. And this might be a little bit too vulgar. I'm sorry. I talk to the Lord different, you know. But anyways,
here now.
You might want to edit that out. I don't know, but
Yeah.
and this is how we started. I was vulgar, just like this in our Bible study.
He didn't hold anything back.
Nope. It'd be dead silent.
I'll be like, I don't know why y'all acting like that. Y'all talk like this outside. but in those instances, I'll be like, I don't understand what you want me to do. But if it wasn't for the Lord birthing this movement on this campus, I would be in my life would be completely different. Like, completely. Like, this freedom that you guys know now, I would not be him. It wouldn't be me.
Yeah, because you was wilding. The first few days of school.
My good God. Jesus, I was wilding. I was smoking every day, drinking pretty much every day. I didn't have to pay for none of it because everybody wanted me to party with them.
But it didn't even last that long.
It lasted like a month. That's crazy. That's the weird thing. It felt like a long time, but it only lasted a month.
For me, what helped me, because I had started a band in high school.
Well, before Jairus goes into his story, let me just say that when I met Jairus, he didn't even want to go to church. I'm like, let's go to church. And he would be so upset about me. He's like, yeah, I'm not going. I'm like, nah, you coming to church. And so Sunday morning would hit, and I would go to his door, like I'm dressed and ready for church. And he's like, yeah, I'm not coming. And I'm like, yes, you are. And I'm like banging on his door, annoying him, knocking on Rory's door and all that stuff, annoying everybody. And I had to force him to come to church. So I think the first church we went to was the United Methodist Church over here.
Is it Aldersgate?
Yes, Aldersgate. And then we would, Galmeen told us about some Jamaican church up the block, Tabernacle of Prayer. I don't know why she thought it was, probably because of Elder Hart. She thought it was a Jamaican church.
I never heard it referred to as the Jamaican church.
She told me it was some Jamaican church up there. So we went. We didn't like that. And then we started going to my church in Mount Vernon. But anyway, back to Jarvis's point.
Okay, thank you. So I had started a band, New Brandon Live, in high school. And, you know, we were all pretty much the same age as a family band, and we were all Christians, so we kind of held each other accountable, held each other down. So when we all left for college, it was like my test of faith. Like, do I really profess all the things that I was singing about and trying to lead them with? Like, now I'm by myself. Is it going to stand here? So being a part of HELP Ministries, God was like letting me know for sure that, yeah, this is it. This is not contingent on anybody or anything. Like, I chose this because I love God. You know, like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Right. It's serve him in whatever capacity, whether HELP Ministries or church or whatever. So when I was here, when I didn't have it immediately, and it took a little while, because no, I didn't want to go to church, because, you know, we in college.
Right.
I wanted to lay in the bed. But, you know, like, having the accountability to work in this ministry made me know, and every time that I chose it, it made me prove that, yes, God, I choose you. I choose your work. I choose your way. Because me trying to do it on my own, man, I'm going to be lost. And I did, you know, fall down in a dark, deep hole in college. But in the midst of that, with HELP Ministries, God pulled me out. And I know that I have purpose in him and in ministry. So that is what kind of kept me going. And then just the hard part, and I was having this conversation with somebody, is that we live here. So
you gotta live where you minister.
It's not like,
you don't.
Okay, church is over. Bye, everybody.
It's never
See
over.
you next Sunday. No, it's like, okay, Bible study is over. See you in the cafeteria.
Right.
Or see you in the bathroom. Like literally, there was like no escaping.
Or somebody's knocking on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning for prayer.
Yeah.
Seriously. So it's like, it was really like a test of faith. You know, like, I can't just play church and then go to my room and hide. I tried. I succeeded a few times. But, you know, still, like, it was always right there. Ministry right back. Like, right when you fall, you got to get right back up, and people's needs are there. So, for me, it was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. So I'm learning through the good and the bad that this is what God called me to.
Right. I was glad to be a part of something. Like, I felt like we were doing something that was very life-changing. I never, I went to church here and there, but my dad never had to force me to go. You know, it was just something that I wanted to do. I wasn't saved yet either. Well, I think I always have been saved, but I just didn't, like...
You never made a confession is what you're saying.
Right. But I knew that I believed in Jesus. But I actually made my, I confessed that Jesus Christ is Lord in November.
Okay.
So we started school in September, and then by that November, I was like, you know what? Everybody else is getting saved, you know, so why don't I just make the confession? Why don't I just, you know, change my life? And I said, all right, let's do it. You know, so
I think that's what was interesting about our group and like what we were starting, because although our mission behind it was to save souls, to get souls saved, that wasn't like at the forefront, like, accept Jesus. Right. Accept Jesus. Like, that wasn't our thing. Like, if you wanted to be a part and you wanted to be around, if you wanted to help, fine. We didn't care whether you, and still to this day, like, you could say that you're not a believer and you still want to hang around, that's fine.
Yeah, there were musicians who played with us that were not saved. But,
exactly.
You know.
And I think that's what was so interesting, because everybody came from all different types of walks. Everybody didn't start as a believer. Some started as atheists.
Yes.
And something happened in our Bible study that made them want to find out what was going on.
Fast forwarding to about to go away to college, like, I thought I was going to just wild out because that's what I wanted to do. It was like, I'm not a popular person. My brother stole all my shine in high school. And I was in his shadow. Everybody was like, Lil Will, you know. So I was just like, oh, God, this is terrible. So when I was thinking of going away to college, I was like, I'm going to be my own person. I'm going to be popular. And that was harder than I thought it was, because then that meant sacrificing all the things that I was raised with, like all the morals that my dad taught me. So I wasn't prepared to do that. And I didn't want to be somebody else, and I couldn't. So it's kind of like I walked right into God, too. It was just like, you know, he was here waiting for the three of us to get here so that we can change this entire campus.